First, the right to life. Government is not responsible for giving anyone life. What it's supposed to do is acknowledge life and protect life and seek justice for the unjust taking of life. But no one has a right to demand life be created for them. The idea that government should pay for fertility treatments is ridiculous. What a government could do is do what it can do to make sure the population is healthy, that their food supply is not contaminated, that foods, among other things which negatively affect our health and fertility, be banned or limited, or at least that people are not given false information. But alas, this is not where we are, so it is up to each of us to inform ourselves. There's a story that came out a year ago on The Guardian covering a gay couple, two males who were expecting their insurance companies to pay for their IVF and surrogate to have a child. They saw this process as their right. They saw the possible child that could come out of this, an object of their rights. And as Rabbi Gilles Bernheim has noted, children are subjects of rights, not objects of rights. But many adults seem to forget this. And let's think about it for a second. The two men believe it is their right to have fertility treatments done for them, meaning someone else create a baby, someone else give up their eggs for them, someone else use their body to create a child for them, and that should be the right of these two men. I'm sorry. But let's not go down that road. Which brings me to the point that many adults seem to forget that children also have rights. And also they seem to think that maybe unborn children do not have rights. Which brings me to the point that many pro-lifers talk about, that the unborn have rights. But they seem to only have an issue with adult desires when it comes to get rid of a baby for their own desires or convenience, but not for creating a child through the commodification of services like surrogacy or sperm donors, among other things. But ultimately, it's what the adult wants. This is a fulfillment of their desire, even if it harms the child in some way. So, to be clear, the desire of a child is not the problem itself. It is the means in which that desire is fulfilled. 93% of lab-created children will not be born alive. This is a figure often ignored by pro-lifers who do not have an issue with IVF or surrogacy. That means only about 7% make it out alive in the process. Most will die in forgotten freezers, others simply will not survive thawing, others will fail to implant, or be discarded for not being viable or the wrong sex, or have some characteristic that prospective parents don't want. They'll be, quote, selectively reduced, meaning aborted, or they will be donated to research. The stories that you see of miracle surrogate-born babies, yeah, they're among the few that survive the process. Most children, and pro-lifers believe they're children, most children created for the process of IVF will lose their right to life in the process. I know most people on the pro-choice camp don't see this as actual babies, but I don't understand how pro-life people can be okay with it. So let's move on to another one. Let's move on to the rights of children to both parents that maybe some pro-choicers can get behind. If you made it here, thank you for listening. This is a short excerpt of a longer 30-minute video-ish that I will be releasing next week about surrogacy and the rights of children. This is a topic that brings controversy every time I approach it, but ultimately it must be discussed. See you next time, and I will leave some related reading to this topic on the description below. Cheers.